Hello students, let's discuss our next topic, that is improving crop production. As you know that science has developed a lot in these years, so there are certain ways of improving crop production which comes under the science field. So in order to improve crop variety, agricultural scientists and farmers are using new techniques, and one such technique is plant breeding. Actually, in plant breeding, the genetic makeup of crops, that is economically, to make them more useful, the genetic makeup is changed, or you can say improved. So what is genetic makeup? First of all, we should discuss about the genes, or you can say the hereditary material DNA. You all are aware about cell, animal cell and plant cell you have studied. So here the cell is having the nucleus, which is the main control unit, and it is having genetic material that is called DNA. And DNA is made up of genes. Gene is the structural and functional unit of DNA, or the genetic material. So if we are changing any gene, we are changing the genetic makeup, then the qualities related to that gene will be changed in that organism. So mainly plant breeding is dealing with that thing. And the second one is hybridization, breeding or crossing between two different varieties of a crop to have desired qualities of both the parents in the hybrid. That is called hybridization. All of you are aware about some of the examples of cucumber, fruits and other such things, vegetables, fruits, that they are hybrid. Actually, hybridization is taking one male and one female plant with desired qualities or with better qualities, and they are crossed over. So the offspring, or the next generation, the new plants which are produced, they are having desired characteristics or qualities of both the male and female parent. So we will be getting the desired qualities in a single organism or a plant. This process is known as hybridization. Students, the next topic is nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen is the main component of proteins. Hence, it is essential for living organisms. All plants, animals, humans, everyone contains proteins in their body, and to make that protein, which is essential for DNA and RNA manufacturing, that is the genetic material. So nitrogen is required. It is the most abundant element in our atmosphere, 78%, but cannot be used directly by organisms. Since humans and animals cannot breathe in nitrogen, neither the plants can take in nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. So the nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere should be converted into usable form, that is in the form of nitrates and nitrites. The process by which atmospheric nitrogen is fixed, used by plants and animals, and then returned to the atmosphere is known as nitrogen cycle. So basically proteins are required for our body building, and to make the proteins, nitrogen is essential. So first of all, nitrogen is fixed. It is taken by the plants from the atmosphere, but not directly in the form of nitrates and nitrites. And then the plant products are eaten by animals and humans, and after the death of plants, animals and humans, and decomposition of all these living organisms, it is again returned to the atmosphere. Nitrogen cycle mainly involves 5 main processes. The first process is nitrogen fixation. It is a process of fixing atmospheric nitrogen with the help of microorganisms like rhizobium bacteria. It is present in the root nodules of leguminous plants. So, leguminous plants are those plants which we have studied before also. For example, pulses. Pulses have nodules in their roots. That nodules are having bacteria, and those bacteria are known as rhizobium, which helps in fixing atmospheric nitrogen into usable form. This is called biological nitrogen fixation. Another process is lightning, volcanic eruptions, and forest fires. These are natural processes, or these helps in converting atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia and oxides of nitrogen, and this process is known as atmospheric nitrogen fixation. So first is biological nitrogen fixation, which is done with the help of bacteria, and second one is atmospheric nitrogen fixation, which is done with the natural processes. These oxides reacts with rainwater to form nitric acid. The oxides of nitrogen which are formed now, they react with the rainwater or water vapors present in the atmosphere, and they form nitric acid. Nitric acid is HNO3, which reacts with alkalis in the soil to form nitrates. When the rain comes, the nitric acid is present in the rain also. It then reacts with the alkalis. Alkalis are bases which are present in soil. They react with each other and they form nitrates, and nitrifying bacteria like Nitrobacter form nitrites. So we have learnt about one bacteria, that was rhizobium, and it is present in root nodules of leguminous plants. The second type of nitrifying bacteria is Nitrobacter, which is present in the soil in free state, free form, and it converts the nitrogen into nitrites. Now here are the chemical reactions involved in the process of nitrogen fixation. First is nitrogen N2, atmospheric nitrogen, plus O2. Both of these are gases. Nitrogen gas, when reacts with oxygen gas, it forms nitrogen oxide. Then nitrogen oxide, which is formed, further reacts with oxygen gas in the second reaction, and it forms NO2, that is nitrogen dioxide. Then NO2, that is nitrogen dioxide, reacts with water, rainwater, and oxygen gas to form HNO3, that is nitric acid. Then nitric acid, when comes as rain to the soil, then CaCO3, that is calcium carbonate, which is alkali, it is present in soil. It reacts with HNO3 nitric acid and it forms calcium nitrate, that is CaNO3 whole twice plus H2O plus CO2. H2O is water, CO2 is carbon dioxide gas. So mainly the product is calcium nitrate. Now this nitrate form can be taken by the plants for protein synthesis. The second step in nitrogen cycle is nitrogen assimilation. The process of converting inorganic nitrogen into usable organic compounds is called nitrogen uptake or assimilation. In this process, the nitrates and nitrites, which are inorganic nitrogen, they are taken by the plants and they are converted into usable organic compounds, that is proteins. So this process is known as nitrogen assimilation. Now the third point is ammonification. Organic nitrogen, that is proteins, gets converted into ammonia when plants and animals die and decompose. So after the death of living organisms like plants, animals and humans, the proteins which are present in them, they are converted into ammonia gas. This process is known as ammonification. Then the fourth point is nitrification. In this process, ammonia produced in the third point is converted into nitrates with the help of nitrifying bacteria again. Nitrifying bacteria we have studied before, that is Nitrobacter. So with the help of these type of nitrifying bacteria, ammonia is again converted into nitrates. Then in fifth point, that is denitrification. Denitrifying bacteria like Pseudomonas, Micrococcus denitrificans, etc. acts on decaying plants and animals and on nitrates in the soil and releases nitrogen gas again in the atmosphere. Thus the cycle goes on. So the denitrifying bacteria converts nitrates again into nitrogen gas, that is atmospheric nitrogen, and also the proteins or nitrogen present in decaying plants and animals is also converted by them into atmospheric nitrogen. So as a result, the nitrogen which was taken from the atmosphere is again given back to the atmosphere only. So the cycle goes on. Here you can see the diagram of nitrogen cycle. You can draw the diagram also and you can learn it for further reference. Now the last topic of the chapter is food obtained from animals. So till now we have studied about the plants and the food obtained from plants. Now we will be studying about the food obtained from animals also. First point is, animals that give us milk are called dairy animals. Example, cow and buffalo. All of you should drink milk, and that comes from animals, that is cow or buffalo, so they are known as dairy animals. The practice of keeping and breeding animals for milk is called dairy farming. So the people who keep these animals, dairy animals, that practice is known as dairy farming. Second type is animal that give us eggs and meat. These are called poultry animals, and the practice of keeping them is known as poultry farming. The place where they are kept is known as poultry farm. Then the next one is for obtaining honey. Honey bees are also reared on a large scale in big boxes that are called apiaries. The process is called apiculture. So to keep the honeybees and to obtain honey from them on large scale, that process is known as apiculture. The next one is the rearing and breeding of fish on a large scale is known as pisciculture. Mainly it is done in southern parts of India. So this process is pisciculture, for keeping them and breeding them on large scale, that is pisciculture. Then the last one is the practice of breeding and raising animals on a large scale is called animal husbandry. The animals, all the animals which are kept for some purpose and they are raised and breeded on a large scale, that whole process is known as animal husbandry.